Hey sis, are you there? Pick up, would you? I got some super good news for you. You're really gonna envy me about this. You can bet on it. You gotta hear this. Pick up, sis.
Is this Elaine? I haven't heard from you for, I guess it must be like 5 years, right? What's the super news you want me to hear?
Hold on to your bitches. I'm getting married.
Huh? You, my little sister, getting married?
Not only is he very rich, but owns some huge estate. He's working at this small corporation right now, a regular employee, but down the line, he's going to take over his father's company. He'll be the CEO. Can you believe it? You know what that means, right? Yep, landed me a rich and successful guy. I hit the jackpot. I bet you're seething with envy right about now. You always thought I couldn't keep a guy for long. Remember that? You always used to say that. That I was picking and choosing, and what do you know? I found the perfect guy. Looks like you're the loser now, huh? Didn't you get married some years back, Amy? And you're still working. You both have to work to make ends meet, I see. You really picked a loser for a husband. Can't properly provide for his wife. I'm not going to make that mistake.
I'm working because I want to. I could quit anytime I want. It's not about that.
Yeah, excuses. You've always been too stuffy. Miss Goody Two-Shoes. LOL. That's why you'll forever be poor, unlike me. LOL. So sorry to live the good life.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, congratulations. And I would appreciate it if you would quit chiding my husband. He's been a great partner.
Yeah.
I really don't care what your values are or what reasoning is for picking a husband, but I'm sure you know what choosing someone merely for money will get you nowhere. Actually, it would just build animosity over time. I really don't have to tell you. You're a grown woman. If you want to make this kind of relationship last, you better learn to keep your mouth shut about certain things. I know it's hard to keep up this outward appearance, but if you want the marriage to last, if you don't maintain this facade, someday you'll regret it.
Oh my god, now I know you're super envious. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, well, I figured you'd say that. At least I tried. So, is that all you wanted? Anything else?
Huh? What do you mean?
Why'd you text me? Any specific reason other than that you're getting married? If that's all, I really have to get back to work. I'm meeting my husband for dinner tonight. I don't want to be late.
I'm not finished yet.
Seriously? What is it?
We're going to hold a wedding. I'll send you an invitation once it's all been scheduled, okay?
Do I really have to attend?
Of course! You're my sister, for God's sake. Why wouldn't I invite you? Anyway, I'll send it to you once it's a go, so see ya!
Hey, Elaine, can we talk for a second?
Hello, Amy. What's up? Something wrong?
I just arrived at the wedding hall. I'm standing here at the reception desk. That invitation you sent me, the girl at the reception desk said it's a different design and that my name is nowhere on the invitation list. What's going on? I took the day off to come here today. You better have a good reason for this.
Oh no, you actually came?
Huh? What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, well, you weren't that enthusiastic about coming to the wedding, so I sent you a fake invitation. But you're here, so does that mean in reality you wanted to attend? Is that it? Yeah, well, I don't blame you for wanting to come, but I thought you'd just toss the invitation in the trash, so... My fiancé's friends are all real successful people, rich, prestigious families. Bet you wanted to mingle with them, LOL. But it wouldn't really look great if my sister is seen trying to snare some eligible guy during the reception. Just wouldn't look good. So, sorry, but there's no place for you here.
Hello? Haven't you forgotten something? I'm married, for God's sake. Why would I be looking for an eligible guy? Leaving that aside for now, why would you even do such an awful thing to your sister on your own wedding day?
I just wanted to teach you a lesson, that's all. However, if you pay us $10,000 for the privilege of attending the wedding, well, I could prepare a seat for you, but there's no way you can come up with that much cash.
$10,000? Are you out of your mind? I'm not gonna pay that. I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Go right ahead. Losers are unwelcome here. Good riddance. See you around. Maybe I'll see you at the homeless camp under the overpass one of these days. Amy, answer me! How could you? Why didn't you tell me? If I knew from the start, I would have invited you. No problem. So why? Come on, sis. Please, pick up. I'm sorry.
What do you want? Aren't you right in the middle of your wedding about now? What's up?
Don't act all innocent. You knew that this wedding was called off, and you said nothing. How could you?
Huh? Seriously? I was wondering if there was a possibility that this might happen, but I guess it happened.
Why didn't you tell me sooner? How could you hide such an important fact from me? You never told me you knew my fiancé. Dennis, why the hell do you even know him? But what's more, the company that Dennis is doing business with, the CEO of that company, you're this guy's wife? When the hell did this happen? That company is Dennis's top client. This is the first I'm hearing about this. And you said $10,000 was too much for you? Yeah, right. Like the wife of a company CEO? And a major corporation at that? That's chump change for a guy like that. Why the hell are you this guy's wife anyway? It doesn't make sense. You're supposed to be poor for God's sake. You're super rich.
Oh, about that. Yeah, I have the money, but not for you.
Huh?
Anyway, there was really no reason for me to announce that I'm the wife of some CEO. What's the difference anyway? I don't know Dennis personally. I met him a few times at a couple receptions that I attended with my husband, but that's about it. I just happened to run into your fiancé as I was leaving. He recognized me right away. I was not sure who it was. I knew the name, but didn't put two and two together. That's when I found out that you had canceled my invitation due to me being sick or something, and I was taken off the invitation list.
Huh? Dennis? He came up and talked to you?
Yes, I was quarreling with the receptionist when he spotted me. He asked me what the problem was, and I simply explained the fact, that's all.
What? Are you for real? So you just blabbed about all of it? Is that it?
That's a strange way to put it. I didn't blab about anything. Besides, I can't lie to a major client. And we know each other through business. If I lie, it would eventually get out anyway. Actually, it would make things way more awkward.
Well, because of that, he annulled our engagement on the spot. You do realize that? My jackpot, my lease to a celeb life, gone in a second. What are you going to do about it? It's all your fault, Amy. I want you to take responsibility of this.
I did nothing wrong. I'm the victim here. I was the one who was scammed into attending the wedding, for which you canceled at the last minute. You knew what you were doing from the get-go.
It's your fault. No if or buts about it. I don't want to hear it. You never wanted me to be happy. You're so cruel. I want you to take full responsibility. I want your husband, divorce him, and have him marry me. He's way richer than the guy I was going to marry. This would be a way to get back at him. I'll show him. I'm willing to let all of this pass if you divorce your husband and you talk to him into marrying me.
Hold it a second. What exactly do I have to take responsibility for? I don't get it.
You blabbed about me. You have to take responsibility for ruining my wedding. You give me your husband and I sweep this all under the rug. It's a win-win for all.
That's the most irrational thing I have ever heard.
Huh? It's not irrational at all.
I must admit, you are pretty, but your brain certainly isn't working right. Maybe you should see a psychiatrist?
Are you insinuating that I'm deranged or something?
All responsibility lies with you, Elaine, and only you.
No way. It's all your fault.
Okay then, let me ask you this. Do you know why Dennis annulled the engagement? Do you even know?
Huh?
Well, that's because you... What did I do?
Huh? Well, you...
Yeah, I figured. What I really want to say is, figure it out for yourself, but it wouldn't seem right to cause additional discomfort to Dennis and his family, so I'll do my best I can to enlighten you. He was upset that you purposely invited me to the wedding, but then at the last minute revoked that invitation. You're snickering with satisfaction as I was leaving. The way you degrade someone who works despite being married as being poor. But what's more, it was your attitude toward him. Your only concern was with his money and his status in life. That's the only thing you saw in him. He finally saw through that. He couldn't go live the rest of his life with someone so despicable, so lacking in moral values.
Huh? Everyone knows that being rich is way better than being poor.
See? That's what I mean.
Huh? I can't understand you, sis. Always the straight arrow. This is the real world.
Dennis is a good person. He finally saw your true intentions. He was completely turned off by you. It's like you pulled off your mask and revealed your true self. He couldn't bear to even being in your presence after that. I really don't blame him. That's why I haven't seen or cared to the last 5 years. Actually, I thought I would never see you again.
I have no idea what you're talking about, and Dennis can just shove it. I can find a way better guy.
Well, maybe someday you'll come to your senses. Just think all about what I told you and reflect on it. I suggest you hold off on marrying until you truly come to grips with your perspective on life. If you don't, you won't get very far.
Don't lecture me about life. Elaine, are you there? This is an emergency. I need $100,000 right now. Please have it ready for me ASAP.
Huh? $100,000? Are you crazy?
I need it within the week. Get it ready for me, you got it?
Like I said, are you crazy? How can I get that kind of money ready?
Come on, Emmy, you're the wife of a CEO. $100,000 is nothing for a guy like that. He's probably worth millions. If you don't do as I say, I'm gonna spread rumors about you, that you're a cheapskate.
What's the money for anyway?
I got a call demanding that I pay for the whole wedding that was cancelled. They said it was my fault that this happened and that I would have to cover the entire cost. I can't pay such a fortune. And I was also seeing this other guy, and I guess they found out about him.
Another guy? Seriously?
So I have to pay the cost for the wedding and for cheating on him.
Man, I thought what you did to me was bad enough, but wow.
I couldn't help myself. They were so cool and handsome.
Huh?
I would have married one of those guys, but they were, had no money.
Wait a sec. Did you just say they? You were fooling around with more than one guy?
It was 3 guys. What can I say?
3, huh? Hard to believe you were actually going to get married. Dennis was lucky he got out in time.
But I couldn't very well just dump them all just because I was getting married.
No wonder I left home at such a young age. The best decision of my life. Mom and Dad spoiled you rotten but left me on my own. I promised myself I would never be like them. And when I got old enough, I left home. I moved in with my aunt. You remember Aunt Jenny. She treated me like her own daughter, and I will be grateful to her forever. I went to school from her place and moved out after graduating from college. Like I said, it was the best decision of my life. I don't want to even think what would have happened if I stayed.
Sis, about that 100,000?
You're going to have to work that out yourself. I have no intention of giving you a dime.
I can't do this on my own.
Well, there is nothing I can or will do. Sorry.
How can you be so cruel, sis?
Get your act together, for God's sake. You're already 26 years old, for crying out loud. It's your responsibility. Face up to what you did. No more running away, Elaine.
I can't, please. Help me out.
See you, Amy. Nice knowing you. My parents were trying to ignore this whole thing, but as a matter of fact, they decided to move out soon after leaving Amy holding the bag. But I heard they ran into some kind of trouble after moving into their new home and ended up getting sued. As a result, they got divorced, and I hear they're both working to pay off the debt they've accumulated. As for my little sister Amy, she finally realized she could not rely on others anymore and started working as a hostess at a bar downtown. With her good looks and sweet-talking ways, she was a natural. And she thought it was the easiest way to make money quickly. But things didn't go well with the other girls. Some kind of trouble with a guest, I can only imagine, and she was eventually forced out. So now she's working various part-time jobs to make ends meet. Maybe she'll wise up one of these days and make something of her life, or maybe she'll finally find the right guy.
Hannah, I just handed in the divorce papers.
Great.
I take it you know where we both stand on custody of the kids. The twins, Ben and Ivy. You get Ivy, and I get Ben.
To tell you the truth, I still don't agree with it.
What good is complaining after all this time? It's already decided, and there's no going back.
I know that. But I can't just look the other way when you call our daughter such horrible things. A brainless good-for-nothing? Really?
It's the truth. What do you want me to do, lie? I have to take Ben because my dad's company is in urgent need of a successor. But Ivy? Yeah, that's not happening. It'd be one thing if she was smart and gifted like Ben, but it seems like she didn't inherit my amazing elite genes like he did. Her grades are average at best. Her face is ordinary. She's not even good at sports. She has no redeeming qualities. She's literally the most average kid I'd ever met. Why would I want her? In any case, the only life that could possibly await a girl like that is marrying into the family of some run-of-the-mill office worker. There's no way she's got what it takes to inherit my dad's company. What benefit is there in having her around eating my food? As long as I get Ben, I'm happy.
Oh, good grief. It goes without saying that you better not ever say any of those things to her face. But don't go spewing your poison in front of Ben either. They're twins. They think a lot of each other. They're well past the age of not being able to understand things adults say, so you need to be careful. I'll be furious if I hear you've been filling Ben's head with horrible things about his sister.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, it's not like me and you are ever gonna meet again after this, is it?
I'm serious. Please, don't. Take good care of Ben, won't you?
Of course I will. I don't need you to tell me. He's gonna get an elite education and make tons of money, you'll see. Benny boy is going places.
It's not that I don't understand you wanting those things for him. But please make sure you let him do the stuff he wants to do sometimes too, okay?
Yeah, whatever. I guess this is it then.
Yeah. Bye.
Hey, Mom, is now a good time?
Hey, Ivy. Sure, what's up?
So I'm heading to the station near college right now. You'll never believe this, but my old dad is waiting by the ticket gate.
What? What do you mean?
My friend who went home before me sent me a message. Apparently he's going around the station asking every single young girl he sees, "Are you Ivy?" To anyone else, he probably just looks like a sex offender.
What the?
I carefully continued to the station to see whether it was actually him. And sure enough, of course he looks a little older than I remember him, but it's him.
What the heck is that man playing at?
Right? After all this time! He was dead set on only taking Ben back then, too. He had no interest in me whatsoever. I remembered like it was yesterday, how he smugly declared, "I'm fine as long as I have Ben," while reclining on the sofa and chuckling to himself like a jackass.
Oh, me too, sweetie.
Anyway, I need to come home, so I'm gonna enter the station through the ticket gate on the opposite side of the station, the one by the tracks. I'll probably be 1 or 2 trains later than usual.
Okay, got it. Make sure he doesn't see you. Be careful, Ivy.
Hello, Hannah. It's been a while. It's me, Gary. We need to talk.
We do?
Yes, we do. So it's like this, see? About a week ago.
You were lurking around the station like some creep trying to find Ivy?
Huh? You know?
I know. You were running around approaching every girl who looked like they might be under 25, asking if they were Ivy, weren't you? One of the girls you approached was Ivy's friend. Thankfully, she messaged her immediately with a warning to avoid the area.
Oh, I see. So does that mean she went home a different way so I wouldn't find her?
That's right.
How could she? I went out of my way to try to find her! We could have finally been reunited! I'm her father, damn it!
This makes no sense. Did you forget everything that happened back then?
Huh?
The reason we divorced in the first place is because Ben was the only child who existed in yours and your dad's eyes. On the rare occasion you actually acknowledged mine and Ivy's existences, you treated us like dirt. Your face practically lit up when I suggested divorce, and you had the papers signed and handed in before the day was up. You had no interest in having any part in Ivy's life, and you certainly weren't going to fight for custody of her. In spite of that, I suddenly hear you're running around the station, approaching every teenage girl you see like some kind of a sex pest in order to try and track down your estranged daughter? I'm struggling to understand here. Can you help me out a little?
What choice did I have? I don't know where you guys live anymore. All I had was some vague information on which college he's at. And so that was my only option.
That's not what I'm asking. Not that that's not a problem, too. But if you wanted to meet Ivy, you should have come to me first. I'm her mother and legal guardian. We intentionally kept hold of each other's numbers for this exact reason, did we not? Stop taking liberties!
Do you really want me to go into all the boring details? I don't have time for that. The point is, Ivy's doing really well now, isn't she? Looks like you did a half-decent job raising her after all. I heard she always gets the top grades in school, and was even president of the student council. Is it true? What's more, she even got into Apple College! Everyone knows how brutal their entrance exams are, so she must have something in between those ears of hers after all.
What's your point?
The point is that it turns out she did inherit my amazing elite genes after all, and this just proves it! That's my girl! Which means I'll be taking custody of her. Thanks to your hard work, you did a great job, really! You can leave the rest to me.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean? Ivy must have gotten into college on a scholarship fund, right? And she has to be working crazy hours at some part-time job.
Scholarship fund? Part-time job?
You can't play dumb with me, Hannah, because I'm smart. Very, very smart. We agreed neither of us would pay child support at the time of the divorce since we were both taking a kid each. But unlike me, who was always working, and at a pretty good company at that, you were a stay-at-home housewife until the divorce. Even if you did manage to find a job after the split, your salary would have likely been average at best, realistically speaking. Now thinking about it logically, the only way Ivy could afford to go to Apple College despite being raised by a poverty-stricken single mother like you is through some kind of scholarship fund or job. Am I right? Or am I right?
What happened to all that stuff you said about Ben?
Huh?
You used to always say you'd be happy as long as you had Ben. What happened to that?
That kid. He was a complete disappointment.
What?
He betrayed my expectations in the most pathetic, cowardly way. He ran away as soon as he graduated high school, in the middle of the night, no less. Pfft. I have no idea where he is now.
Are you even gonna bother looking for him?
I was so disappointed I didn't feel like wasting my time trying. I decided to wait for him to come back and apologize before considering forgiveness. Not gonna lie, that hurt. I was pretty dejected. But, right around the same time, I got word of what a high achiever Ivy was turning out to be. I thought it could only be fate. Which is why I'm doing whatever I can to find her as quickly as I can. With me raising her, she won't have to waste her time working some crummy job or relying on scholarship money to study. I'm exactly what she needs right now. Oh yeah, my dad changed his mind. He's ready to let her be the successor to his company now.
Gary, Do you even know which faculty at Apple College Ivy is studying at?
Huh?
The legal faculty.
What? Wasn't she majoring in economics?
She decided she wanted to be a lawyer and went to college to study law instead.
A lawyer? No, she will not be a lawyer. Starting next year, we'll transfer her to the Faculty of Economics. Contact the college and have them initiate the procedures. Now!
Why?
Because she has to inherit my dad's company! She can't do that if she's a frickin' lawyer! She has to learn economics! There's no other option!
Oh, so that's why.
Huh?
You were trying to force that on Ben, too, weren't you?
Forcing? A father's authority is final! He has no right to disobey my command, and learning economics is an essential requirement of inheriting my dad's company. You should be careful how you speak to me.
Do you have any interest in what Ben himself wants to do with his life? Do you even know what that is?
Huh?
Your son wants to be a chef.
A chef?
You do know how much he loves cooking, don't you?
Oh yeah, I remember catching him wearing that stupid hat a while back. That stuff's for pansies! I told him how shameful his stupid effeminate behavior was and banned him from embarrassing me by ever doing it again.
I know. That's why he ran away in the night.
Huh?
Ever since he graduated high school, he's been working part-time to save up money to go to a specialist culinary arts college. He's set to start studying there next April.
He is? Hey, wait a second. How do you know all this? You weren't supposed to meet him after the divorce! We agreed!
I know, we didn't meet. At least not while you had legal custody of him.
Huh? What are you trying to say?
Don't tell me you forgot. Ben and Ivy both turned 20 the year before last.
Huh? So what?
They're fully fledged adults now, so the custody terms we agreed on during the divorce no longer apply. Ben doesn't need your permission to come and see me anymore.
Oh, he doesn't, huh?
Which is why he came to see me, just yesterday in fact.
Wait a sec! How did he know where you live?
He and Ivy have had the same friends since back in elementary school, so he's always known my address.
How dare you! You've all been conspiring behind my back this whole time!
Ben told me all sorts of things. For example, how you temporarily became president of your dad's company. But were too much of an incompetent moron to run it properly, and your aged dad was forced to take the reins again before he ended up in the red or going bankrupt. By some miracle, you're still hanging on to the managerial position by a thread, but your dad swore you'd never be president again. Then, to make matters worse, Ben, who'd he'd been grooming to be his successor, decided he wanted to be a chef instead and pulled the disappearing act. The only reason you're trying to track down Ivy now is because you're out of candidates to inherit the company, isn't it?
If you're such an expert on the situation, why don't you just hand her over already? You know damn well it's in Ivy's best interest to be a household with money so she can focus on her studies. You're just being stubborn and selfish.
There's just one problem. Ivy never wants to see you again.
What?
I did just tell you. But she went out of her way to avoid you as soon as she heard you were out looking for her at the station. You can think of that as her response to your proposal.
Do you understand what a generous offer this is? I'm offering to cover all of her expenses until she graduates college. Not only that, but there's a CEO position waiting for her when she does. With me, she walks the path of the elite. With you, it's nothing but poverty, poverty, poverty! The opportunity to live a life free from financial worry is staring her right in the face! She'll never struggle for money again!
Gary, Ivy isn't studying on a scholarship.
Huh?
She doesn't have any money worries at all.
Don't make me laugh. There's no way a peasant like you could afford to cover her tuition fees at Apple College. What did you do? Rob a bank? You're obviously just making up desperate lies because you're scared of losing her when she realizes how much better her life will be with me. I've got it. Fine. I don't mind if we get back together.
Excuse me?
If we do that, you can guarantee Ivy a better life without having to say goodbye. Win-win!
No, really, we're doing fine for money.
You're clearly putting up a bold front. Tragic. I know that deep down you're chomping at the bit to go ahead with what I'm proposing. You're just too proud to admit it. One thing though, when I say me and you can get back together, you should know what I mean is, I'll let you be my personal maidservant. Ever since my mom died, we've been forced to hire a maid, which means the finances have taken quite a hit. We could do with some free labor. This is actually perfect timing!
I married a lawyer.
What?
We were introduced through a friend when Ivy was in her second year of high school. Ivy calls him Dad now.
She does what now? How dare she, that traitor!
It's thanks to his influence that she decided she wants to be a lawyer.
Even so, I'm her dad and always will be!
Actually, the adoption procedures were recently finalized, so legally speaking, he's her dad now.
What? You let him do that?
As you probably know, a lawyer's salary isn't half bad, and he's been kind enough to cover half of her college expenses, so you really don't need to worry about us struggling.
Half?
He did offer to pay the full amount, but I worked so hard to save up money to send her to college before we got married. Plus, Ivy herself has been working long hours too. So to make sure we'd never forget what we went through, we have a constant reminder of the importance of hard work. We paid the other half ourselves.
I don't understand. Why wouldn't you accept?
It makes no difference whether you understand or not, so that's fine. Oh yeah, that reminds me. We're currently in talks to start the adoption process for Ben, too. I'll be sure to keep you posted.
What? What about me? Who's gonna inherit my dad's company?
Why does it have to be a family member? Why can't you pick a successor based on their abilities and talents? Sounds like you could use some fresh blood. Nah, that's not really for me to comment on.
Aha! I've got it! I'll let you have Ben. If you give me Ivy, can we do a trade?
You still don't get it, do you? Ugh, this is a waste of time.
Huh?
Ben and Ivy are both adults now, and they're free to make their own choices. I think it's time we block you.
No, wait! Please! Just wait!
Goodbye. I heard through a friend a few days later. Apparently, Gary's dad told him that if he didn't come home with either Ben or Ivy to inherit the company, he'd lose his managerial position and be demoted to a regular employee. After I blocked him, he went on the offensive with Ivy. Once again, he was sighted approaching young girls at the station, but this time around, he was swiftly reported to the police and arrested. My husband, the lawyer, decided it was time to take action. He had a restraining order put out against Gary, banning him from ever coming near any of us again. A year later, Gary's dad's company went bankrupt. Apparently, word of one of the managers being arrested for harassing young women in public played a part in the stock price hitting an all-time low and the company's subsequent collapse. Both Gary and his dad worked like dogs to pay off the debt they took on in a desperate last-ditch attempt to save the sinking ship. They did manage to keep up with the repayments somehow or another, but due to the fact that neither of them knew how to do housework, their apartment turned into something resembling a bomb site stinking of rotten meat within a month of them moving in. Naturally, reports from the neighbors came in one after the other. Now, no one has any idea where they disappeared to after being handed the eviction notice.